I really have to hand it to you, Glenn Poop. I mean, you really made the most out of what was literally a shitty situation. You and your coworkers, I mean, you guys were laughing about it, joking about it. It seemed like you were actually having a good time on the job, despite what happened with that valve exploding and just all that shit pouring out everywhere. Kind of makes me want to watch Shawshank Redemption now, you know, because of the, well, any spoils for that one. But yeah, you did better with that situation than I would have, because usually shit on the job, that's been a deal breaker for me in the past. One time I had to mop up this one kid's vomit. He was just standing down aisle 2 in this grocery store that I used to work for. He's just standing there, and he'd just eaten some cheese crackers that didn't agree with him, and he's just fucking letting it go, just volcanic eruption all over himself, just this blank expression on his face, and it's just trickling down his mouth and all over his clothes and onto the floor, and I had to mop that up, and I, you know, damn near quit that day. And then a few weeks after that, you see, we used to have this, like God, he must have been like 550 pounds, this homeless guy that would come into the store, and he'd always purchase one loaf of Wonder Bread, you know, just so he wasn't technically loitering, even though he only came in there to use the bathroom. He liked our bathroom for some reason. It must have been a pretty good one compared to the other businesses in the area, but he'd go in there, and I don't know what was wrong with this guy's asshole, but I mean, he could never hit the mark. I don't know that he was doing it on purpose or whatever, but you know, when this shit exited his body, it must have been a fucking geyser, a little bit like the valve that exploded in your video. And yeah, one time he went in there, I mean, he shit all over the walls in the bathroom, and you know, at first my manager said, "Well, look, you know, you have to mop this up." I said, "Bullshit, man. I'm not touching that. I'm not touching that shit." And my manager, he was pretty cool about it, actually. He ended up mopping it up. I bought him a beer, a few things at a restaurant afterwards. We talked it over. I thanked him because, yeah, I was really gonna fucking quit instead of having done that. But yeah, and then a couple of days later, the guy tried to come back in and do it again. But we asked him to step outside, and it was me and a couple of other guys that worked there, and they were, you know, much bigger than me. And basically, we just sat him down on a bench out front and surrounded him and said, "Look, man, we're not going to bother contacting corporate over this. We're not going to call the police or anything. I mean, you've been around for a while. They obviously don't give a fuck that you're wandering the streets or anything like that and stinking up every place you go into. So basically, just don't come back in this place, or we're gonna fucking kill you, okay? I mean, we're just gonna pound your ass into hamburger, and then we've got a trash compactor in the back out in the parking lot, and when we're done with you, we're just gonna dispose of your body in there. It's gonna mush it up. Some waste disposal service is gonna pick up your remains, and nobody will know that you even were killed by like pathetic stock guys at this grocery store." So yeah, I mean, shit on the job in the past has always been a good, reliable day ruiner for me. So yeah, I have an unbelievable amount of respect for you and your coworkers. God, that's fucking gross.